You don't need another tool. You need a system people will actually follow. This is part 3 where he explains why most businesses stay overwhelmed. They chase software instead of fixing the process. And the result is stress, silos, and work about work. In this final segment, we get into that mindset shift that makes systems stick and how to sell outcomes in the customer's language so they finally adopt the solution and use it. Let's finish the conversation now. And so one of the phrases that I like is, especially for the higher end custom solutions, it's like people need to know, like, and trust you before
Mm.
they will work with you.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is awesome because then they feel heard, they feel known, and they want to work with you. And
Yeah.
so, but it is a skill set. And I've met a lot of people on the technical side that is a skill set that is hard to learn. What
Yeah.
are some ways that either you or how you're teaching your team or anybody who's like on the front end initial side with the customers, like what are some ways that you're teaching them to think this way, like think in
Yeah.
results in their language rather than the technical
I
pieces?
answer you this in a second, but what I wanted to say before I forget this
Yep.
for all the agencies out there, because you said it's fear and it sounds draining working along with a customer. I think ultimately, if you work in the custom space here as an agency, I think it's beautiful to work long with a customer if you
Mm,
have an idea of what is your ideal customer.
yeah.
This comes in as the second answer to your question. But if you have someone who can work long together, it's great
Mm,
when you started the relationship in the right way where it's not technical. It's
yeah.
about the language the customer speaks because what we are into is in 10 years,
Hmm.
technology will be different. So probably the solution you build, you have to adapt, you have to
Yeah.
change, and that makes it interesting. So there's always something to do, but the customer will continue trusting and you will continue using his language, but you
Yeah.
just adapt it to actually where we're going. And I think you can have a lot of um, fun and a very good time with customers. And I think
Hmm.
ultimately every business wants very long retention with a customer, right? So
Yeah.
it's not something bad. It's
No, no,
about
no, you're
you
right.
if it's feeling training or not. And this comes then as the question to your answer right now is I believe more and more what I'm learning, you need to find a good balance of the knowledge gap between your spokesperson to the
Hmm.
customer, so either the sales guy or the project manager,
Yep.
and your customer. If you are
Mm,
someone who is a freelancer and you're very, very techy,
hmm.
then you also maybe your customer should be someone who speaks also technical language, not so much as you. So you have a nice knowledge gap, you can still be expert.
Hmm.
But if we're talking with medium-sized businesses and the
Yeah.
founder who is in his late 50s
Hmm.
really has no idea about technology, then I cannot send him some of my experts to talk
Yeah.
about now all the time about the layouts from Glide and like some workflows and
Right.
crazy chasing stuff. We need to have someone who then talks his language where like the knowledge gap is not too big. If not, he will never feel understand. And then he's
Hmm.
missing the trust. So the
Yeah.
trust is not is also very subjective, right? The same in marketing. You just need to find the right sweet spot for you of like what is my audience, the person I need to talk to, where
Hmm.
I have more knowledge, but not too much even. So I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
confusing him because if you start
Yeah.
confusing, and again a mistake, I mean we had in many calls. I got some requirements. I got super excited, and I started talking about everything I learned just yesterday
Yeah.
in the course, and I just lost his lead, right? I just lost him on the
Yeah.
way of communicating, and he's like, I don't feel good. Like this doesn't feel I have any
Yeah.
control because the customer want to feel in control. It's still his business, especially if you work with a business owner.
Yeah.
He want to know what's going on, and so therefore this knowledge gap. Everyone can think this for himself.
Hmm.
How much do I know, and what's it's a good um, yeah, like a good ratio. Like what do I look for in someone? How much less does this person know? So we have a good communication level.
Yeah. That's
And I think
great.
everyone can think about private examples. If you look for a teacher in your school time, or if you look for a trainer, yeah, if
Hmm.
you're not a professional athlete, you don't need a professional trainer, right? Professional athlete trainer. It would be too much for you. You need someone who is like more on your
Yeah.
level. It's still above you. And I think this goes in all business sectors,
Yeah.
but maybe more especially now in ours because it's very easy to drift in a very
Hmm.
technical communication again
Yeah.
when it's not needed. I mean, that's the beauty. And just something to end here on this point is now we can finally show stuff. So in my early experience as an employee, of course, with the programmers, I was looking what they're doing. I never learned coding. And I
Hmm.
was like, I did not understand until they showed me when it was finished, right?
Yeah.
But now we have the opportunity to not technical people show them a bit, guide them in our way of doing something,
Hmm.
because we can, in most tools, most things we build, we can already show something visually. And
Right.
as soon as you have something visually, someone can click something, a button. I always tell this in sales conversations or in when we do requirements. Before I'm asking 10 questions on like a piece of paper, I
Hmm.
just build it and then he can click it and I say, is this
Hmm.
what you want?
Right.
And he says yes or no, right? Because he can understand what I now mean.
Yeah.
And I think this everyone needs to find his nuances in whatever then tool you're working with. Everything is a bit different.
Yeah.
Your customer, and yeah, if you guide your way through here and have a few guinea pigs to
Yeah.
try with, then you will
Yeah.
come out very happy.
That's great. Um, so thinking of again this kind of landing the deal, getting the closing the deal,
Mhm.
what would you say in your space would be two to three common objectives that you find that people like, no.
So first one is still maintenance fee, so some kind of
Okay.
SLA contract,
Yep.
because someone understands maybe not why he needs to pay still whatever 100 euros a month
Right.
to keep the thing running. Because people, especially, I mean, again, our audience, medium sized, and they compare this sometimes to website
Yep.
hosting, and they're like, that's 20 euros website hosting. Software is not the same. I'm like, no, because this holds your entire business, and this is
Yeah.
just one piece front end, out there.
Right.
So no, it is very different, and that's an objective sometimes where we're still going around of how we can explain this good, of how
Hmm.
we can break it down, different services. But what we all need here is we need an SLA, because they
Hmm.
will come and you need somehow having some options to actually deliver and fix bugs and just
Yeah.
be still there for the customer. So
Right.
that's objective number one, of making understand why he still needs to pay something
Hmm.
for the ongoing maintenance of the solution.
Right.
The second one, I think, is another objection I have is then about this trust sector in the beginning. Right, it's
Okay.
something of a big solution, too big of a solution is sometimes hard to accept for them in the beginning,
Yeah.
when because it's custom and you can only show so much about
Hmm.
demos. So we have, I mean, right now we have demos of certain stuff we built, but we can of course never show the exact custom app
Right.
we built for someone that's great or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's very hard to sell the full solution in a way, or that's
Hmm.
an objective we sometimes get.
Yeah.
And we also learned of what's a piece you can break down or something where like commit to everything. We only start with this, and if you like it, then we continue. But some being able in whatever then service exactly you're offering, whatever tool you're using, find
Hmm.
something in this tool or tech stack you're having what is easy for you, but still can bring some value so the customer can see something
Yeah.
custom and done for him. Because you have some issues, of course, in the sales process to show exactly all the solutions you build, because you
Right.
cannot show them
Right.
because they're custom and they're running for some customer with personal
Hmm.
data. So this is some objective when I was super excited sometimes of like, hey, we can build this out, right? Like
Right.
6 months, you have all of this vision, everything what we discussed,
Show me.
and of course you have a bigger number then, right? It's like a bigger sum, and he's
Yeah.
like, that's the objective of I don't trust it enough.
Hmm.
I cannot trust it enough. I'm very
Yeah.
suspicious here, and so
Yeah.
breaking this down of something small to deliver first, commit to everything. We build you this first. If you don't like it, then you not have to take the rest, right?
Yeah.
So that's
One
something.
thing. One thing I might add on to that, and I'm learning this myself. When someone says that, there is a sense of maybe fear as well,
Yeah.
and so I'd be curious to know, huh? Why can't you trust it? Is it that you can't? Maybe
Mhm.
you've had a bad experience in the past, or maybe you've tried yourself to change things and it just didn't stick. So it's like recognizing and maybe even trying to, like you said, pull out or dig into more of the like beliefs that hold them back, because
Mhm.
that could be really helpful. Like, oh yeah, well, we worked with this development agency and we paid all this tons of money and it didn't work. Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about that. Like, this is going to be different because of XYZ, or we're going to be with you for ABC. So to really kind of
Yeah.
see their limiting beliefs and try to break those so that you can really help them get past themselves and
Yeah.
deliver the freedom and the solutions, the happy workplace for them. But that's one of those, like, I
Mm,
tend to overlook that, but it can be really
Now,
helpful.
but let me add to this one. This question we actually asked in the very, very beginning, because if someone then tells me stories about, yes, I worked with three different
Yeah,
vendors and all of it went wrong, I'm also listening closely because every coach will tell you this. Not everyone is a good client.
correct.
And when we want to deliver and we have this vision that we want to bring a happy workspace, you also, of course, need to qualify a bit your lead you have in
Hmm.
front of you. So
Yeah,
this question we actually ask, or we changed and we ask on the very beginning, because if I hear here already stories and not
yeah.
really finding what was the reason for failing,
Mm,
I'm already can anticipate that maybe the customer also has just a hard time to be guided,
right.
to listen, and so I'm also not sure if actually they want to work with.
It's good.
So we ask this first, and that's why when we have the objection in the end, it's okay. It's just like a little bit of it's a lot of money. We're like a medium-sized business. I need to be sure what I'm investing in. So at this point, I know I want to work with this person, and it's all fine. So I'm just trying to give him something
Yeah,
as a symbol of trust. Actually, what is okay? It's anyways part of the project. Um, and if we don't deliver, he has every right to not work with us, right? So
yeah,
we anyways need to deliver. So there's actually no risk, but it's something we can overcome this year.
yeah. That's great. So this is a question I love to ask people. As you think about the people you're working with and the customers and clients you have, what would make your customers better customers? I can give an example if that's helpful.
Mhm.
So I was talking with Courtney.
Yeah.
She did marketing for other companies, and she would go
Mhm.
in, she would do the marketing for them and kind of take ownership of that. And she wanted to transition out of doing, like, kind of maintaining the marketing. And so for one of her last clients, she taught the owner and her assistant, just like, here's how you do this. Like, just kind of gave the secrets away. And what actually happened from that was really positive. One, they really liked her and trusted her. And then two, this company got to see all the work that went into
Mm.
doing marketing. I'm like, wow. And so one of the things that I
It's a
noticed is
lot,
that
right?
these people, when they can see the work being done, they will value the work at a higher level. And then it
Yeah.
becomes more than just a price tag. It becomes like they
Yeah.
trust you, they know you, and like they will then come to you as the expert. So the example
Yeah.
there is education makes customers better because they value the work more. So, what might
100%.
be something like that that you've noticed, or you think about it like, oh man, if they knew this
Yeah.
thing, or if they would do that thing, or yeah, what might make your customers better?
Listen, Karen, I definitely agree with what you said. We actually had the same when we closed the marketing agency because we did this with some
Right.
customers, showed them
Yeah.
what we all do because we had no connection anymore to them. And then we got similar feedback. So there's two things. One, we have actually this as a qualification question is like tested and failed. Yes,
Okay.
we like that. It is true that, of course, someone who went and wanted to go his own path, like building something on its own and failed,
Hmm.
yes, it makes him, in the end, I think, a better customer because he has this value. He
Yeah.
values your work in a way a bit more. But overall, I would say, and of course, this comes back to our vision of the happy workspace. What would make all of our customers better customers is that they would generally see in their life more systems. Like if because
Okay.
we can only control when they're working in our systems we're building,
Yeah.
we cannot control what happens in their private life and how they go around in other areas.
Hmm.
And if someone is just a very chaotic person or has other issues, he will bring this in our solutions, and he maybe doesn't like them so much, or the day doesn't feel like so the wish generally would be it would make really every customer better if what we teach them in work, they would take some things also in other
Yeah.
areas and try to implement them there as well without technology, but just like how to
Hmm.
think about
Yeah.
some basics, what we teach them. This would make them better customers because they would be more engaged in the actual work using our,
Yeah.
our solutions we built them. Yeah.
So I almost wonder if that concept actually feels more like a habit to someone. Like when you put your shoes on, do you do sock, sock, shoe, shoe? Or do you do sock, shoe, sock, shoe? Like that's a
Yeah. Sock,
system.
sock, shoe, shoe.
It's
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
habit. It's just this autopilot thing that we
Yeah.
don't even think about. And so to help
Yeah.
someone see, like, oh, wait, that's a system. Like, okay, how do I make peanut butter and jelly? how do I
Yeah,
like do X, Y, and Z? Like that can kind of open their mind to see, oh wow, systems. Or like maybe it's a different word because systems sound a little technical. Like, hey, what's your habit?
exactly.
And like we're just
Yeah.
creating a habit for work that uses technology. What other habits do you
Mm,
have? Um, because it's a kind of like this and that. So it helps them get out of the technology box that systems can fall into and like see
yeah.
it. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I wake up in the morning, I get dressed, I have my coffee, I do this, I do that. That's my system. Um,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that could really, I don't know, that could help them see it's just a language. It's just a word, but we put
Definitely. No,
words in
no, this is
boxes.
great. Yeah. Yeah, but this would help because we have actually one customer who also has a business coach.
Okay.
And this, for example, is in a great addition because the business coach is no competitor to ours, right? They talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not teaching someone how to sell or how he should run his business.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take what he has and just make the best out of it in his operations, like very focusing on operations. So if someone has a business coach, it's great because they
Hmm.
will work on other systems. And then this coach will probably tell him, now you have to implement this. And then there's like, oh, perfect. We have this system from us. I can use
Yeah.
it. So um, having this complementary
Yeah.
stuff in different areas is actually helpful for us because overall, of course, happier workspace is a big word. It's a big goal.
Yeah.
And we alone sometimes are not enough actually
Hmm.
to fully
Right.
create this. So if we have other things in place, we welcome this, and it makes definitely
You
the
know,
customer
I really like that.
better.
I saw this picture of someone where it's like you have like a timeline. You have the where someone's now and when it's done, the freedom that they're in.
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
like they don't have a way to share their work. They have a fully functioning website with leads coming in. It's like, but there's all these steps along the way. And so
Yeah,
it's like, what are all those steps? And maybe I only have like three or four of those steps, but they also need someone to do this. They also need someone to do that. And so you fit in, like, okay, we fit in from a happy workspace that also kind of fits into a happy life framework.
yeah,
And so like
yeah,
we're gonna cover work, but we're gonna cover the like workflow design of your work. So then you
yeah.
have a business coach kind of fits in here and you create this like ecosystem that maybe you
Sure.
find a life coach too to be a part of that or I don't know. And so then
Yeah,
you as a business owner, you can partner with people. And like if you find business coaches that you like to work with, like myself, feel free. Or you
okay.
find like life design, or I'm noticing that the people I work with, they all have kids and they're losing time or I don't know, maybe you find a way to help connect them to someone else. It just becomes more of an
Yeah.
ecosystem and they choose you or they go to you or they find the people in your ecosystem. Um, anyways, that picture came to mind as you were sharing that with the business
No,
coach.
no,
It's
please,
a
and
compliment.
and you brought me two perfect thoughts for this. So just to give the visual
Yeah.
mindset for this, right? Especially now with like this whole remote work and you work from
Hmm.
home.
Yeah.
It's even crazier because now imagine someone sitting there on this computer, right? Like it's his computer. He
Right.
has on one desktop, he has like the perfect system up from the company, which was built, and then he makes the swap, and there is like chaos of like private life, and then behind him there's even more stuff.
Yeah.
He will. It's harder for us, of course, as a vendor, that this person will use the app, and of course we track our solutions, we see behavior,
Hmm.
and we see that this person will have a different behavior than someone who swipes and
Right.
his Apple ecosystem is also perfect, and he just likes it a little bit to work this way. And so I think for all agencies out there, but also for the business owner who looks for someone, like I think that's whatever exactly you're offering. So we're working with medium-sized businesses, trying to really completely transform their operations. Whatever you're doing, you should look for these compliments and understanding
Yeah.
also what part can you actually solve and what,
Hmm.
and then be honest, what can you not solve? And if you're like a business owner and you're looking for
Hmm.
someone, then also ask yourself, what can I actually expect from them to solve for me? And what is someone, I need someone else for this, right? So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
these two parts, and I think this could help everyone finding, as you said, partnerships, and but also
Hmm.
being honest in my own work, what we're
Yeah.
offering, what can we achieve, because not everything is a one size fits all, and you need different baskets.
Yeah, that's great. Well, how can people find you to connect? And yeah, website or social media
So
channels?
so far, I'm very busy. So all private social media channels are offline. LinkedIn is amazing. I'm
Okay.
there every day. I'm happy to comment on posts or just DM me. I like to talk,
And
and
that's
if not, then you can
Alex.
find.
So is that Alex
Yeah,
Stadlemer?
exactly. So it's Alexander Stadelmeier, the full, very
Okay.
long German name. You put it there, and you will find me. Or you type in Quapso if it's easier.
Yep, yep.
KWAPSO. You put it there. You find some posts, and of course on our website, we try to put more and more things out on the blog,
Cool.
from like case studies to solutions,
Nice. That's
and
great.
some even like more like habit stuff. We mentioned here. So we try to have like a toolbox of everything to
Cool.
find there. So
Yeah, that's great.
no
Well, cool. This has been
resources.
great. I appreciate it, and I love how you're helping people have a happy life.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. This was amazing. Thanks for inviting. Very nice talking to you. The 50 minutes
Yeah.
was flying by, and yeah, maybe we can do another recap in a year.
Yeah. There
See
we
see what
go.
changed in the
Yeah.
technology. Not with the habits. The habits will stay the same.